Okay, we are back. And let's do a couple of things. We are going to crash ship.
We must all fulfill our duty to the protector.
Okay, we could check that out. I know we've explored this area before, but it's interesting. Crashed ship. Oh, another one of these guys. I never have too much crabble meat, I guess. Okay, we're nowhere close. So, I am curious about what might be down here. Well, there's a body. Some food. Corpses. Moderation mini rolls. Oh, that was a pretty worthwhile diversion. Okay. So can I go that way? Looks like it. Oh, another cave.
Emergency brake. Please seek treatment for bodily trauma soon.
What are y'all shooting at? Oh. Good grief, how many of them are there? Crude biomass. Anything worthwhile in here? Sentry blade. Okay. Well, that was an adventure. Did we loot him already? Either we did or he's long dead. Oh, I think I see it. Okay, the theory is supposed to be that we could actually take this ship. That sure seems unlikely, doesn't it? So for some reason, just stepping into this water is fatal, which seems awfully strange. Is it boiling hot? Oh, I wonder. Oh, that didn't help. I don't really see any specific instructions about how to take over that ship. Doesn't look like... Gate debris, reach the northern part. Hogarth gave me a writ of conscription. Present it to the sentry to get to the Vox relay station. There's a crashed ship which could be used to reach it, he says. I don't see how. If jumping into the water is fatal, I suppose I could cross here. Or is that the bridge that they won't let me across? Yes. That's not going to do me any good. Okay, well, let's head south.
Mass quantities of organic decomposition detected. Area may be hazardous to living life forms. Proceed with caution.
Have I been here?
Anyone got lamps on Schultz? Anyone? Void be damned. Sallying into the wire like that with nary a wish in her pocket? What was she thinking? Did I not make clear our orders to hold the line here regardless of provocation? Should my instructions have been more robust? Perhaps assisted by pictures?
I'm afraid there's more bad news, Commander. She also took Scrabbles, sir.
Would that he'd done her more good. Seems Calamity has claimed 2 good soldiers today. You there. I don't normally sanction nameless passers-by giving ear to my private discourse.
I'm an agent with the Earth Directorate.
That right. Earth Directorate. Not many would claim such affiliation these days. None from Arcadia have the knowledge to lie about it. What's your business at the Vox?
Looking for a fugitive.
Sounds serious. Were it in my power to offer aid, you'd have it. Alas. Whatever your purpose, I feel a contractual obligation to warn you against setting a heel past this base. If you go any further, you go alone and at your own peril. No Antes forces are permitted beyond the forward position upon pain of disemployment and possible litigation. Our orders are to sit and mind the store for as long as need be.
Impressive feat.
It is difficult for me to accept such laudations at the moment, given recent losses. But I suppose you make a fair point. By steadfastly holding the line here, we forestall any retribution the Protectorate would seek to inflict upon Fairfield. And we will continue said watch until orders change.
Bad news about your friends.
Calamity digs its claws in deeper. Thank you for notifying me of their demise. I'll send a car for replacements, and pray we do not suffer another attack before then.
What is Scrabbles?
I'd thank you to affix some ballast to that name when you speak it. Scrabbles has been integral to this unit's success for years. Outsiders may see him as a toy, but we've bled alongside that stuffed sprat. He's damn near family. Schultz obviously knew the risks and hoped he'd protect her through the minefield. Alas, even Scrabble's power has limits. Still would help morale to get him back, though. Before you depart, a final word. Stay out of the minefield.
Good advice.
I won't be the one who answers to Carr when the Protectorate mistake your rootless gallivanting for encroachment.
I didn't see a toy. So there's a minefield somewhere. There's a mine. Question is, why would we want to go here? Maybe to find that toy? So, can we pick up the mines? Or should we just keep away from them? And, whoa! No! Oh, crap. Okay, so apparently, if you get out of the way fast enough, they don't trigger. Right, that's good to know. Anyone see a toy? Question. Can I shoot these and set them off? Yes, I can. And it doesn't look like they're going to attack me for triggering their minds. Like one. That may be the toy there. There's one. Oops. Hey, it's Grapples. Okay, clear a path in case we can convince him to make a run at this bridge. Of course, I have no idea if that's a good idea. But it's nice to have options. They certainly did a fine job with these mines. Just about everywhere. They owe me ammo is what they owe me. Goodness, there's a lot. Yeah. Thinking this is a good time of day to have done this. Makes that glow stand out better. Oops. This one. Looks like they're over that way. Good news. I have sprats.
I'll be spaced. Scrabbles! And hardly the worse for wear! You've no grasp of what his return means to this unit. Scrabbles was originally a gift from my daughter. He fought with us during the Consolidation War, and has seen this squad through every hard deployment since leaving Tau Ceti. He's also packed with some of the finest grade stimulants this side of legal.
Oh.
Here, for your trouble. Livener like that comes in handy when you're in a pinch.
Well, the Protectorate won't stand a chance with these drugs.
While we appreciate you returning Scrabbles, you'll not provoke me into a course of unwise action if that's your aim.
Okay. Maybe
I will
later.
take action when action is appropriate. And I'd suggest you modulate your tone more appropriately the next time we speak.
Good grief.
I heard Torres fought off 50 Raptidons back on Tau Ceti using only a bolter pistol. It's like he came onto the battlefield straight from the serials. 50? Please. What's I read? He fought 73 barehanded, covered in cystic.
Can't you see I'm on the clock here?
Both are over-exaggerations.
Okay.
The cystic pictures was a calculated error.
Okay. Forward operating base terminal. Notice unauthorized use of this terminal is punishable by severe fines and or immediate termination of employment. Messages. To Commander Torres, subject condition update. I understand your concern for your troopers, Commander, but pestering me for updates on their condition only delays my work. Treatment takes time. Unfairly or not, the bullet of a moment often requires months of repair. I can only operate as quickly as the body can heal, and with respect, I'm rather too short-staffed to be stepping away every hour to massage your nerves with empty platitudes. Rest assured, when I have an update, I will share. Forward operating base to aggressive acquisitions officer core from Commander Torres. Subject, permission to advance. Babylon, I must once more impress upon you my emphatic opposition to this mystifying surcease. Just today, several of my able bodies were injured repelling yet another Protectorate sortie. This base is now at a third of its previous manpower. A third! Further diminishment are bound to happen the longer we are forced to squat at the enemy's doorstep. You know me, Babylon. I cannot abide idling while the enemy plots. Although my previous petitions have met sound refusal, I hope you will give this third appeal more consideration. Permit me and my troops to assault the bridge, and I will deliver the rest of the island to you within a fortnight. This is a guarantee you can take to Auntie herself. Email. Torres personal logs. Bodies on the bridge. The Protectorate continues to mock us with our dead, leaving them exposed to our sightlines. War is often full of indignities, but seeing my fallen comrades displayed in such a loathsome manner froths my blood. If only I'd been able to take the bridge when we first invaded, like I'd aimed to. Babylon reamed me good for pressing my advantage when she'd given strict orders to the contrary. But had I been successful, her tune would have sweetened. I'm certain of it. It has been months now, and no change in perimeter, only a steady deterioration in morale. I plan to petition Corps a third time to let us forge ahead, seize the bridge, and bury our fallen. But at this point, I'm disinclined to hope. Schultz. While breaking my fast this morning, First Officer Schultz approached me with a plan to end the barbaric exhibition on the bridge. Perhaps I ought to have disabused her of the notion outright, but I confessed I was curious and let her present her strategy. It surely couldn't be any worse than what we had tried in the invasion, utilizing a raft full of explosions to breach the wall. I still maintain this was an excellent idea, regardless of outcome. Rather swiftly, I recognized my error in having such a relaxed countenance about the matter. Schultz wants to traverse the minefield during a Protectorate shift change and cut the bodies down. I've scarcely been subjected to a more reckless and foolhardy endeavor, and did not mince syllables about it. One might best picture her reaction as akin to being a kicked canid pup. I feel rancid about the entire exchange. After all, I share her frustrations, but best not let such wild ideas go further than talk. Well, so if he wants to bring those bodies down, we tried that before and we didn't have any luck. Wonder if we'd have better luck now. Why do you groan all the time? We're just walking. Actually.
Mass quantities of organic decomposition detected.
Yes.
Area may be hazardous to living life forms. Proceed with caution.
We've tried this before, and I couldn't figure out a way to get this thing down. Same with this one. So unless there's some trick I don't know about. There's just one on the ground here. But looks like that one they cleared out. Okay, well, I wonder if having read his terminal is going to make him any more talkative.
My thanks again for returning Scrabbles to us. Morale's already improving.
I have a wild idea. Hang your orders and assault the bridge with me.
I half believed you meant that offer. Unless you weren't being playful. I confess, the challenge of holding the forward position does not satisfy as might a straight-on tussle. But I would prefer to avoid staining my reputation by participating in such a needless blunder. Carr was, shall we say, non-ambiguous with her orders.
He's just jealous.
Far be it from me to speak poorly of a superior, but I have pondered over her choices as of late. She's been sullen about sharing her strategy, too. Still, however brightly my star burns, I remain in her orbit. She is my superior officer. I defied her once, and I received the verbal tanning of a lifetime for it.
All right, then. We'll talk later.
I will take action when action is appropriate. And
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
suggest you modulate your tone more appropriately the next time we speak.
So can I read your little pamphlet here? Schultz's sketchpad. This clipboard is filled with rough cartoon sketches of a sprat participating in a variety of non-sprat activities. Piloting a dropship, playing pitchball, big blocky letters announce The Adventures of Scrabbles, the Sprat, in space. Every page is signed simply by the artist, Schultz. Okay, well, looks like we've done all we can do here. Seems to be the situation for everything we try to do. We get to a certain point and my skills just hold me back. So, still have those two things summoning us. Guess I can get a little closer if I fast travel.
Why choose just any choice when you can choose Auntie's choice? Remember, Auntie knows best.
Sometimes I get the feeling we're not welcome here. Like the Protectors folks resent us liberating them.
Okay, I think that's our goal. I believe this is that elevator that we didn't have the mechanical skill to fix, but we should now. Yep. Awesome.
Would you mind checking on our fellow? Might he have survived the fall? He thought those boots would make him fly, but they really just allow the user to jump repeatedly. Unless their downward velocity is too great. If so, well, you see what happens.
This is Jackson? Too bad. His business partner Fairfield's going to be very upset.
Not nearly as upset as we are.
Oh?
We've been stuck atop this machine since Ida, one of our new Protectorate acquisitions, had her gray matter scrambled by the height, jumped down, and landed right in its gears.
You're not that
I
high
can't
up.
fathom no sensible motive. She joined us shortly after Auntie liberated her with the freedom of meritocracy, and she seemed happy enough.
Were you not listening? She said she'd always be a loyal subject. It was part of the endless inculcation we endured in the Protectorate. It can prove insurmountable for some.
The notion that she'd sacrifice herself, even after seeing the vast possibilities in staying alive and climbing the corporate ladder, it's just impossible to cognize.
I'd be more worried about climbing down.
There ain't no way off this platform besides jumping, and you've seen how that ends. But you being down there makes you uniquely qualified to help us. The reason Jackson tried using those plasma thruster boots was to gather a piece of machinery we'd spotted on a little table halfway up the spire.
It's a drive overloader. If we install it, we can push the platform's arm hard enough to... well, to grind old Ida out of the gears.
Though the power of that overloader will deluge the system and, well, overload the drive and burn it out all permanent-like. But desperate times and all that.
So if you were to use them boots to bound up the spire and deliver the overloader to us, we'd avoid the tragic fate of our two former cohorts.
And I would do this because...
What? It's your duty as a subject to...
No, Liza, remember, you're not Protectorate anymore. So, what have we talked about? A duties only.
Discharged if the disbursement is dutifully deserving. Right. Sorry, I'm just a little flummoxed by being stranded up here.
So, bits, stranger. We'll give you bits if you get us down before we starve. Poor
Got a
Jackson
deal.
wasn't raised in the Protectorate with a mind for science and mistakenly thought the word thrusters meant he could fly. So he jumped the opposite way I told him. They're experimental. We'd not laid eyes on them before, but the data we found with them says they were actually designed to let people hop their way up the spire. If you activate the plasma thrusters when you're already airbound, they can give you a fair bit of extra boost. It should let you turn a quick hop into a surprisingly grand vault.
Okay.
Thank the Sovereign. Thank you, stranger. We are eagerly anticipating a long life utterly absent of starvation.
Okay. The PALE, Plasmatic Augmented Leap Enhancer, is a fantastic invention that allows one to reach new heights. They're automatically equipped and allow you to jump a second time when already in the air. After jumping or falling, jump again to activate the thrusters. Warning, the PALE is ineffective while falling at critical velocities. Makes sense. Oh, cute. So apparently that's a souvenir I will return. The practical application of sweet berries. Amongst the various crops the Sovereign has discovered in Eden, few have had as sweet an impact on the Protectorate as these densely fibrous, exorbitantly oily, stupefyingly acidic kernel clusters. Originally dubbed sulfur seeds after their dreadful, abominably noxious effects were responsible for several grisly and, dare I say, grotesquely messy deaths in the early days of the colony, their name was revised upon the discovery of their myriad textile uses, and their value to the Protectorate was devised. With fibers that can be ground into solvent-resistant adhesives, juice that requires minimal processing to become highly indelible ink, and a naturally occurring pH of near zero, the potential uses for sweet berries are still being discovered. The next evolution of this research should focus on uses for the highly viscous liquid. The next evolution of this research should focus on uses for the highly viscous lubricant that literally drips from each berry and its potential as a non-absorbent gastrointestinal unguent. Okay. Trip blade. Okay. So we have hoppy shoes. They don't seem very hoppy. Ah, there we go. Anything interesting over here? Ah, more of those berries. Come on. Okay. Betting that's our next destination. Piston. Mr. Groan. Okay. Flywheel. Very exciting. Oh, I've got some altitude. Ooh. Okay. I'm guessing we just need to get across.
Oh, you're by our crop of Trichothecium rutabulum. They're found in bandages and burn tinctures.
These lush, thick vines are clearly being cultivated for their utility, but you lack the knowledge to make use of them. Of course I do. I find myself asking, why did I take any of these skills? They've extended a few conversations, I
You
guess.
don't have that drive overloader. Ascending may be a waste.
Drive overloader. I don't know what she's talking about. Flywheel. That's not terribly exciting. Well, we seem to have reached them.
That's it? It was that easy?
Okay, enough corrections.
That was some impressive climbing. Poor Jackson could have learned a thing or two from you. Starting with the right direction to jump, I suppose. Wonderful. Get us down, and I'll happily compensate you in accordance with standard Auntie's Choice urgently improvised extortive standards.
We've certainly found our way into a most harrowing circumstance, At least I'm glad I'm not alone.
I'm sorry about your friend Jackson. Losing a compatriot is never easy.
He hadn't been here terribly long, so we weren't particularly familiar. Like me, he was also former protectorate, but he was not raised in Fairfield, so we'd never met before. Still, he seemed like a friendly, kind sort, albeit a headstrong one. I'm sorry he's gone.
I'll be back soon.
Please do hurry. I've lost count of how many meals we've missed, but it is closer to many than a few, and we're starving.
Plausible deniability for your own whereabouts? Then take a ride on the purple red worm.
Okay, I think we've seen everything. Whoop, I'm wrong. Okay. Disinfecting spray. Lubricant of some kind, it seems. Farmer clothing. Scrap metal. All right, what's up? Harvester automech control unit. The harvester's lifting armature has ground to a halt and needs a drive overloader to allow it to push through the obstruction. I need engineering brilliant. I need engineering. So I didn't pick up the drive overloader. That's a bummer. So where was I supposed to find that thing? Scrap metal. More scrap metal. Doesn't look like we want to go down there. Or maybe we do. Gotta say, I'm astonished I wasn't attacked by something. Oh, good grief. Just a simple flywheel. Pretty sure I would have seen anything in here. That thing again. I don't see that that does us any particular good, but then again, I don't know that we've been up there. Just say. How we have. Just a flywheel. Oops. I don't think it's up in these plants. Oh, there's quite a bit of unexplored area. Pitchball card for Ben Hamilton. That's exciting. Lots of booze. Cartridge. Well, useful stuff, but I don't think it has anything to do with our mission. I don't know that there's a way for us to get any higher. Oh. Okay, it is possible. Is there any reason? That's a completely different question. I'm thinking no. We can get there. Nope. Found a new flaw. Bad knees. Years spent crouching have really done a number on your knees. They ache and squeak, but as long as you stay crouching, you can ignore the pain. 50% crouch speed. Crouching emits a 10 millimeter radius sound that hostiles can hear and investigate. Well, doesn't that sort of defeat the purpose of crouching? Encryption key. All that's nice. It definitely causes us to explore more. Yep, same deal. Oh, wait a minute. No. So it looks like we still don't have that device. Well, we seem to be right back where we started. Lots of great loot, but no device. Y'all want to give me a hint? Because that seems to be what it's telling us. We need the drive overloader.
We've certainly found our way into a most harrowing circumstance, At least I'm glad I'm not alone. Please do hurry. I've lost count of how many meals we've missed, but it is closer to many than a few, and we're starving.
Care.
That was some impressive climbing. Poor Jackson could have learned a thing or two from you. Starting with the right direction to jump, I suppose.
Well, guys, I don't see this mysterious device. It's really starting to piss me off. Oh, we're back here.
You can't spell heinous ascetic without Auntie's choice.
Sometimes I get the feeling we're not welcome here. Like the Protectorate folks resent us liberating them.
Nah, they know this invasion ain't.
No, Jackson, don't!
Don't fret. With these boots, I can fly!
Don't die on me, Jackson! You're too young to be a crater in the dirt!
Wasn't the fall that killed him, it was the sudden stop at the end.
Oh, law, I can't believe he jumped that way!
Sir, I know this isn't the time, but are they gonna put us to the gallows for this?
What? No! That ain't how we operate in Auntie's Choice, Liza. We might be looking at a pretty fierce demotion for losing half our workforce and getting stuck up here, though.
Demotion to fertilizer?
No. Now cease your jawing. This ain't the time. Hey, you! You down there! Would you mind checking on our fellow? Might he have survived the fall?
Why would anyone jump like that?
He thought those boots would make him fly, but they really just allowed the user to jump repeatedly. Unless their downward velocity is too great. If so, well, you see what happens.
That's his Jackson? That's too bad. His business partner's going to be very upset.
Not nearly as upset as we are.
Oh.
We've been stuck atop this machine since Ida, one of our new protectorate acquisitions, had her gray matter scrambled by the height, jumped down, and landed right in its gears.
Ida Rutledge?
That's right. She joined us shortly after Auntie liberated her with the freedom of meritocracy, and she seemed happy enough. I can't fathom no sensible motive why she'd jump.
Were you not listening? She said she'd always be a loyal subject. It was part of the endless inculcation we endured in the protectorate. It can prove insurmountable for some.
The notion that she'd sacrifice herself, even after seeing the vast possibilities in staying alive and climbing the corporate ladder, it's just impossible to cognize.
How can I help?
The reason Jackson tried using those plasma thruster boots was to gather a piece of machinery we'd spotted on a little table halfway up the spire.
It's a drive overloader. If we install it, we can push the platform's arm hard enough to, well, to grind old Ida out of the gears.
Though the power of that overloader will deluge the system and, well, overload the drive and burn it out all permanent-like. But desperate times and all that.
So if you were to use them boots to bound up the spire and deliver the overloader to us, we'd avoid the tragic fate of our two former cohorts.
Right. And I get...
What? It's your duty as a subject to...
No, Liza, remember, you're not protectorate anymore. So, what have we talked about? A duties only.
Discharged if the disbursement is dutifully deserving. Right. Sorry, I'm just a little flummoxed by being stranded up here.
So, bits, stranger. We'll give you bits if you get us down before we starve.
Got a deal.
Poor Jackson wasn't raised in the protectorate with a mind for science and mistakenly thought the word thrusters meant he could fly. So he jumped the opposite way I told him. They're experimental. We'd not laid eyes on them before, but the data we found with them says they were actually designed to let people hop their way up the spire. If you activate the plasma thrusters when you're already airbound, they can give you a fair bit of extra boost. It should let you turn a quick hop into a surprisingly grand vault.
I'm on it.
Thank the sovereign... thank you, stranger. We are eagerly anticipating a long life utterly absent of starvation.
Okay. So they said... Hail. The PALE, Plasmatic Augmented Leap Enhancer, is a fantastic invention that allows one to reach new heights. They are automatically equipped and allow you to jump a second time while already in the air. After jumping or falling, jump again to activate the thrusters. Warning, the PALE is ineffective when falling at critical velocities. Understood. So... Well, that's charming. Okay, so if I can bring some sort of physical evidence of the other guy, then maybe she'd let me across the bridge. That'd be nice. So... halfway up, somewhere along this path, is a table. That has the tool I need. That's not it. Okay. I don't think it's over here. It's over here, I think, where we start. Those berries. Table. Turbo. That certainly seems to be glowing. I don't know if that's good or not. Piston. Flywheel. Table. Another flywheel. That's roughly halfway up, I suppose you'd say. See a table? You know, this would be a likely spot. But I don't see a table.
Oh, you're by our crop of Brachythecium rutabulum. They're found in bandages and burn tinctures.
That's great. Why don't you tell me when by that device I'm looking for?
If you don't have that drive overloader, ascending may be a waste.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Up. Well, that's a shame. This isn't good.
That's it? It was that easy? That was some impressive climbing. Poor Jackson could have learned a thing or two from you. Starting with the right direction to jump, I suppose.
Let's see about bailing you out.
Wonderful. Get us down, and I'll happily compensate you in accordance with standard Auntie's Choice urgently improvised extortive standards.
We've certainly found our way into a most harrowing circumstance, At least I'm glad I'm not alone.
Sorry about your friend Jackson.
He hadn't been here terribly long, so we weren't particularly familiar. Like me, he was also former protectorate, but he was not raised in Fairfield, so we'd never met before. Still, he seemed like a friendly, kind sort, albeit a headstrong one. I'm sorry he's gone.
I'll be back later.
Please do hurry. I've lost count of how many meals we've missed, but it is closer to many than a few, and we're starving.
Okay. All right. So so I just pick one. What a dope. Well, let's see about our loot.
Oh, thank the law. I never thought of myself as a vertiginous sort, but being trapped 100 meters in the air will make you reconsider.
I mirror that sentiment, to be certain. In fact, Auntie will have to pay me triple if heights are to be involved. And isn't it grand to be in a system that allows me that freedom?
Keep from getting trapped in any other harvesters, will you?
I agree with Liza. I'm inclined to keep a few paces from farming equipment from now on. Here's your reward for evacuating us with all our parts intact. I perhaps ain't as awash in currency as I'd prefer, so you can have my helmet as well. It was useful for identifying crops we'd missed in our harvest, but to be honest, I'd like a little distance from plants for a spell.
Okay. Thank you. So did we level up? Nope. Reputation. Reputation and factions. Your reputation represents how you're viewed by the various factions of Arcadia. As your reputation with a faction changes, you receive bonuses and penalties with members of that faction, such as vendor prices or the effectiveness of your speech skill in conversations. Okay, so for Auntie's Choice, we are at this level, which I suppose is good. Sup Rosa? Don't know. If I recall correctly, one of my characteristics is such that yes, reputation will never decrease below neutral. So yeah, so that's a good thing. Okay. But I still can't increase any skills, which is a shame. All right. Well, we actually got something done. is nice. Well, that's kind of a cool scene. Okay, I guess we'll call it a day and see what lies ahead next time.